read a little bit about breath. Big breath and exhale. The breath in Hebrew means neshama, which is the same word for soul. To become aware of our soul or our fire within us, which means mata in Kumeyaay, is the greatest gift we can ever give to our loved ones. Our presence, our soul's energy, or fire is a direct link to the divine. So I just wanted to ground everyone in our soul, in our breaths, in our bodies, and thank everyone for being here who have helped to make today a reality. But first, I just want to talk a little bit about why we've all gathered here tonight and what today's all about. And I get through it. During her lifetime, my mom Jan was a visionary. After earning her PhD in microbiology, she raised 2 daughters as a single mother. When I was in high school, she earned her MBA. She cared deeply about the life science industry, and she used her education in business savvy to advance many nonprofit organizations where her impact continues to benefit the lives of many today. When Jan was diagnosed with stage 4 brain cancer, she changed her name to June. In the Jewish tradition, Jews will sometimes change their names so the angel of death will pass over them. But June's personality also changed. First of all, the name Jan to her represented wintertime in the month of January. And June, by contrast, represented springtime, rebirth, and renewal. That's what this garden is all about. June got off all of her organization's boards, some dozen or so of them, and admitted to her close friends that she finally felt free. When my late stepdad Craig and I spent the last few months of her life with her, June was more present and more in the moment than perhaps she had ever been in Jan's entire life. That's why I wanted to plant this garden in her memory. Not only because my mom loved nature and gardening and imparted the values of philanthropy onto me, but because I believe that my mom fully healed when she passed away. She instilled in me a love of nature and allowed nature to be a healing space for me. My hope, amongst many, for this healing garden is that all who visit here feel the same sense of freedom that June experienced in her final months, exactly 11 years ago tomorrow. So today is actually the beginning of her yard site, which is the anniversary of somebody's passing on the Jewish calendar. It's very meaningful that we all gathered here today. And I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I really feel her presence and her smile, and she's really stoked that we're all here together. This is already a naturally quiet place on the farm, but with educational events and gatherings here, you can get out of the thinking brain and into your body's natural state of being. You can sit on a bench, clear your mind, and meditate. There are so many other hopes for this garden. I've been studying traditional ecological knowledge at Kumeyaay Community College under Dr. Stan Rodriguez and Professor Michelle Garcia. Unfortunately, Stan could not make it here tonight, but I will be paying homage to him. I've been learning about the countless ways through Stan and through Dr. Rodriguez and Professor Garcia how our native indigenous peoples, the Kumeyaay and the Luiseño Indians, have used these plants that we planted here for food, for medicine, shelter, boats. I've literally made a boat out of natural materials lately. It's been so much fun. Fishing, hunting, healthy fats, oils, and more. And all of the cuttings from these plants that are here behind us, or behind me, in front of you all, are intended to be given back and donated to our Native community partners with the farm. So every dollar raised goes towards buying more Native plants and ensuring that the knowledge of how these plants are helpful to both people and the planet doesn't get lost. My teacher, Dr. Rodriguez, famously says, "Knowledge isn't knowledge unless it's shared." The knowledge of how to use plants for healing has been passed down from generation to generation and is present in all cultures. My hope is that this living garden will help to carry the culture of the Kumeyaay and into future generations. I now want to take a minute to acknowledge the plants and the people who brought us here today. And if I forgot anyone, I'm so sorry. Everyone who is here is important. The plants behind me are all part of the plant community called coastal sage scrub. Coastal sage scrub plants are endemic to this region of Southern California. They prevent land erosion, they attract beneficial pollinators, and they continue to feed our unique Southern California ecosystem. We have the Kumeyaay and Luiseño Indians to thank for their continued presence in this region. So their botanical names and in Latin, in English, and in Kumeyaay, and their traditional uses are all listed on one of the inserts on the tables back where we just came from. And I also brought today my mom's scrapbook photo album from when she brought 17 of her closest friends, closest female friends, to Peru for her 50th birthday. Some of those friends are here today. Please enjoy the photos of these Pachamamas through my mom's eyes that inspired this native healing project and today's event. So thank you to Chef Julia, who's over there preparing our delicious dessert. She's preparing our delicious, healthful, and beautiful food today. Julia understands that food is thy medicine. She nourishes us by bringing healthy food into the greater conversation about food justice at our Pay What You Can farm stand and beyond. Thank you to Javier Guerrero. There he is. We'll have to use the moon as our spotlight tonight. Thank you to Javier, our Coastal Roots Farm fearless and visionary CEO. Javier has been a professional mentor to me and has helped carry this vision of a healing garden in honor of my mom that started over a year ago. His relationships with our tribal communities of San Diego, including Campo Kumeyaay Nation, Ipai Nation of Santa Isabel, San Pasqual, Kumeyaay Community College, are how this garden can grow to serve our greater Southern Californian community. Thank you to Sarah Schatz. Who's Sarah? Where's Sarah Schatz? There she is. Yeah, if you just raise your hand, you can do that. I know it's awkward, but thank you. Because I want to be able to see you. Thank you to Sarah Schatz of the Jewish Community Foundation of San Diego, where my mom served as past president. All of the funds raised for the Jan Tuttleman Native Plant Initiative are being held at the Jewish Community Foundation, and I'm so grateful to Sarah for her guidance and her friendship. A big thanks to Adam McCurdy for being what I call the steam horse engine behind the farm's regenerative agriculture initiative. Adam is responsible for the operation and the spiritual motivation. Adam's in the glass. There he is. Yes, there's Adam. Thank you. Adam is responsible for the operation and spiritual motivation for the Native California Healing Garden. Like the native willow, Adam bends so that the farm doesn't break. We are so grateful to you, Adam. Charlene Seidel, who is actually in Israel right now doing grassroots activism, for being my mentor through this process. My mom was Charlene's mentor when she was just getting started. So it feels very full circle for me that Charlene is my mentor today through my mom. Big thanks to Sharon Goodson. Where's Sharon? There she is. Huge thanks to Sharon Goodson from the Leech Tag Foundation. Sharon has been a close friend and mentor who helped with the fundraising for this project. And we are so, so lucky to have Sharon on our team. Thank you to Kesha Dorsey for helping with the marketing of the Jan Tuttleman Native Plant Initiative and for leading us tonight in Havdalah in just a little moment. Kesha is an expert at marketing and communication for the farm, and she makes fundraising look easy. And for those of us who know, it's not. Big thank you to Garth Denton Vorhaug, who has not just been only the best boss and role model for me for how to treat others with unconditional kindness, but also a forever friend. Thank you, Garth, for always making me feel at home here. And a huge, huge thanks to my mom's friends and generous donors who are here and who have supported me through this project. Emily Einhorn, Karen Soberman, she couldn't make it last minute. It's okay. I'll say her name. Susanna Flaster, Lisa Braun Glazer, Debbie Seid, my friends Taylor Chapin, and Eric Eric Klein, and my wonderful and loving boyfriend Josh.
And Josh is here.
I couldn't have done any of this without all of your love and support. And lastly, I just want to take a moment to give gratitude to a teacher at Kumeyaay Community College who just recently crossed over. This is the reason why my Professor Stan couldn't make it here tonight. It's Kumeyaay tradition not to say the name of the person who has just passed away for the first year, so that they don't get called back while they're making their journey to the other side and learning about all these interesting grief traditions through this process. But if you read any books on native plants in Southern California, our teacher's name is cited. He is an expert on the relationship between plants and indigenous peoples and the history of harmony between them on this land. He's a friend and colleague to Dr. Rodriguez and Professor Garcia, and he will be dearly, dearly missed. So without further ado, I'd love to open this space up to Javier or to anyone who wants to say or add anything about Jan or anything that's on your heart. And then we can move on to Havdalah.
First of all, thank you, because I did not know Jan. But to have the spirit of this and how you've been able to blend this with both the Jewish intention in honoring the land of the first people of this land, the way you navigate through these worlds has just been such a treat and pleasure to work with. Not just you, but our team, as we continue to work with and support our local tribal communities. In this very spot, just last Saturday, so a week ago, we had the first gathering right here with these native plants in this very location of tribal communities. It was a Southern California Southern California Tribal Food Sovereignty Gathering. And it was people coming in that were wanting to connect in this space, and this made it so special. And to really share this and to be like 1 week from that that day and have this going on. And for those of many of you that I've gotten the chance to meet along with our team, this is something that we're very committed to as an organization, and this is something that we look forward to growing with this along with the plants. So you come back a year from now, we could all be coming back and celebrating again, and it's going to look, wow, it's going to look so special and that much better. I just had to pick these coming to this moment. I'm originally from Mexico, and this is the time of Los Muertos, and these are Cempasúchil, which is a Nahua word, and but it's very much about celebrating life in this moment. And we were just, I was walking with Jeff over there, and I had not the intention of picking these, but they kind of spoke to me, and so I'm gonna bring them here into this spot, into this space. Thank you.
Gather information from different places and bringing it together here. I think it means so much that
So I've known Emma from her birth, and known Jan as well. Right around that time, I'm sharing for my wife Deborah, who's not well today. I didn't want me to let you know. Jan came to a women's group that Deborah ran back many, many years ago. And Jan, the very first thing she said, she goes, "I'm a scientist, but now I'm a mom with these baby and little girl, and I don't know who I am." And she did know, and she kept on that path, and over the decades, weaving around her Jewish identity and bringing in many, many teachings and practices. And I know she will be incredibly joyful for what you're planting and growing into yourself and here for the community. So thank you.
So for those not familiar with Havdalah, it's the ceremony that separates the Shabbat from the rest of the week. It's actually the literal translation of Havdalah as separation. And I was thinking about the significance of that during this time within Israeli, Jewish, Muslim, Arab communities, and also just knowing that when we lose a dear one, there's life before them and there's life after them, right? And how holy that separation can be. So hopefully with this ceremony, there's some meaning in it for you. Typically there's, we stand close if you're comfortable and if your arms are free with arms around one another. And if you don't know sort of the Jewish lyrics to things, it's lie, 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 right? You can always lie, lie, lie along, okay? So if you know it, please join me, and if you don't, whatever makes you comfortable. Yeshuati Eftach Velo Echad Ki Ozi Vezimraya Adonai Vayahili Lishua Ushavtemayim Besason Mimanei HaYeshua Ladonai HaYeshua Alamcha Birchatecha Selah Adonai Tzvaot Imanu Mizgach Lanu Elohei Yaakov Selah Adonai Tzevaot Ashrei Adam Boteach Bach Adonai Hoshia HaMelech Ya'anenu Veyom Korenu LaYodim HaYita'orah V'simcha V'sason V'ikar Came to Yolanu Kos Yeshuot Asah Uvashem Adonai Ekra Uvashem Adonai Uvashem Adonai Ekra. Here's your time to shine. La 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 la
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei minei v'samim borei minei v'samim lai la 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 lai 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 la 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 lai 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 la 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 lai 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 la la lai Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei meorei ha'esh borei meorei ha'esh lai la 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 lai 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 la 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 lai 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 la 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 lai 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 la la lai Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamavdil ben kodesh lechol ben oel lechoshen ben Yisrael yamin ben yom hashvi'i shamim l'aseh Baruch atah Adonai hamavdil ben kodesh lechol lai la 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 lai 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 la 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 lai 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 la 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 lai 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 lai
Hamavdil ben kodesh lechol hatotenu hu yimchol Zareinu v'chasbenu yarbek kachol v'chakochavim b'layla Shavua tov
Shavua tov Shavua tov Shavua tov Shavua tov Shavua tov Shavua tov Shavua tov Wow. Yasher Koach.
You want to kick us off?
Sure. Baruch atah
Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Ehiyanu v'hiyanu v'higiyanu l'zman hazeh Beautiful.
Everybody.
Yeah.
It's a prayer that connects.